What's up, and welcome to the Indie Credible Podcast, Season 3, Episode 1, the first podcast of the year,
You fucked it.
And a great start.
Already.
And a weekly podcast where we get together and chat about the world of indie gaming. We go through all the indie games we've been playing, we go through the latest indie game news, and we cover our main topic, although this week's main topic is kind of tied in with what we've been playing, because the main topic this week is kind of our favourite games of 2019. So it's not so much... In the past, we've chose Indie Credible's favourite game, and it's always hard to do because there's some of us like Game X, another one likes another game, and so what we're going to do this time is it's going to be our favourite game. So Tom will say what his favourite games were, and he'll choose an ultimate favourite. At the end of it, his Indie Game of the Year for 2019. I'll do the same, and so will Dan. And we're going forward, and obviously next week we can start talking about our most anticipated, excited games in 2020, just as long as they don't get delayed, along with every single other game. But anyway,
it's about 12 games I've been excited for about 3 years now. Like every year, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
This
is when it comes out, yeah.
Year.
But joining me, as always, is Tom
Hello.
from @Shriek and Profit, and Dan from @TheDiceBear.
Hello.
How are we doing, gents?
We are. Well, I'm sneezing a lot.
Yeah,
now, and I have no bloody idea
I like
why.
how you waited until we started the actual podcast to start sneezing. That was great.
Yeah, I
Really
was
good.
fine
Real
before.
professional, Daniel.
Yeah.
Right up.
Real professional.
Oh, full name as well.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah. Well, obviously,
Theodore. Isabel. Graham.
The third.
so obviously we have done a pre-show. For those who don't know, we do have a pre-show. If you want to get part of that, it's $1 a month over on patreon.com/IndieCredible. Or is linked in the description below. $1 a month supports us, and it gets you access to about 20, 30, 40, sometimes an hour's long of pre and post show content where we don't really chat about indie games. We chat about absolutely anything, much like we do on the podcast.
Yeah.
But yes, so gentlemen, it's obviously been about 5 weeks since our last podcast, maybe even 6.
Yeah.
And over the Christmas period, I'm guessing you played AAA games, I'm guessing you maybe dabbled in some indie games. But we're going to start off with what we've been playing. So who wants to start with what they've been playing over the Christmas holidays, the festive holidays?
Ooh, Tom.
I'd like to start.
Also, can we just make a note before...
Oh,
so
yes.
anyone
Yeah, this
who
is a
watches
big
for the
moment.
first time, all your listeners, I'm holding up a notepad. Now, the reason I'm so shocked to be holding up a notepad is Tom has been on this podcast for about 2 years, 18 months.
Oh, quite nice.
Has never, ever brought notes.
It's all
And always forgets any game we
Everything.
play. Like, we play a game at EGX Res in the daytime, and the evening we come to podcast,
You can't
and
remember it.
all of EGX Res, he's like, oh, it's the best game I played this year. It's amazing. And we're like, oh yeah, do you remember that game, Tom? No, I didn't play it.
It was like you were sat right next to me when we did it.
It was your favourite game? No, I don't know what you're on about.
I don't remember things that I do in my life, and that is basically my whole personality. Is that I forget things. Not today. Not today.
Cool. So
Except
Yeah.
I did forget most of the things I played over the break because we haven't seen each other or spoken or done
No.
a podcast in about 2 months. How
I,
long has it been?
It's been a while.
I think the most we've said to each other was a New Year's message.
I gave you a news
Yeah,
message. I
send
gave you a
New
news
Year's
message.
messages.
I did it. I had a system this year.
Yeah.
I wrote them all
I remember you
hours
saying.
before. Genius. Brilliant idea. I just hit send.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're personal. I didn't. Well, yours wasn't. But
I don't send personal ones. I'm like, all right, Dick.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Send to everyone.
But usually
and then I
I'm
send
like,
a follow-up sorry message to my mom.
Hang on, guys. Let me write them messages. I'm like it's hit midnight. I'm like writing messages to everyone. But this year I wrote them all beforehand and I shot them out all at once.
That's good for you.
It was pretty great. I felt organised. I felt good. It's a new year. It's a new me. All right. Now I played some games.
Go for it.
The only 2 that I remember
Yeah.
are Minecraft.
Right.
Sick game. Let's be honest. You love it.
Yeah.
And Left 4 Dead 2.
Hey.
So good. Such a good game.
You gone back to Left 4 Dead 2?
Yeah. Doing some custom maps.
Love it. You get a brand new PC. All
Yeah.
singing and dancing. And what we play? Minecraft and Left 4 Dead 2.
The best games available. Did a map based on the Hive from the first Resident Evil film.
Nice.
It's
nice.
such a good map. And then when you go, you sort of go all the way up through it, and it has all the bits. It has the laser room. I
Yeah.
died in the laser room. The lasers got me. And you go up to the top, and when you get out at the mansion, it's the mansion from Resident Evil 1, the game.
Ah,
And it's like a proper recreation. And I was like, oh wow, it's good shit. It's a really good map, and the game is just endlessly good. It's still good.
Yeah. When you've got a group of you playing that,
Exactly, I'm
it's
playing
wicked
with
fun.
mate Charlie. Yeah, it's just still good.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stop being fun, and it good stuff. And Minecraft, obviously, one of the best
Obviously
games
a
ever made.
classic. Do you like the new bees?
I'm still not up to date. My updates are stuck because I'm running a server and I need to update the
Oh,
server.
yeah, to be able to. Yeah.
And I just
There's
can't.
bees?
There's
Yeah,
bees.
and you can have beehives. And...
Yeah, but not for me.
Isn't wait. Minecraft's closing down, isn't it?
No.
No, do you not see the thing they announced a little while ago? They're not supporting the game anymore.
What do you mean they're not supporting the
Yeah,
game? What does that mean?
One of the
Okay.
biggest selling games of all times, outsold Tetris and pretty much everything else. Tetris, the biggest selling game there had been for decades. Yeah, no, we're not supporting it.
No, honestly, I saw it before Christmas and I was
This is
genuinely
the
It's
shocked.
whole
the
thing-
Onion that you were reading.
There you go. Mohong announced they'll shut down their servers December 21st, 2020. Mohong.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, yeah, Mojang are going to shut down their servers.
Who the fuck plays on official Minecraft servers?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Microsoft own them, and Microsoft run the servers everyone plays them on. They don't
Yeah.
play them on Mojang servers.
I run my own server.
Oh, like I said, all I'm saying is I said it was shutting down. The developers shutting down.
Yeah, but they're still going to keep updating the game.
No.
Even though
No.
I would argue that
Minecraft 2. That's I'm telling you.
Oh.
Minecraft 2 is
he's
coming.
obsessed with Minecraft 2.
Oh god, I'm already getting a headache.
Minecraft 2 is coming. This is
No.
Moses parting the waves for Minecraft 2 to come down the middle.
Where's that biblical reference?
I don't know.
Mate, new year, new me.
No,
You're
that's the
religious
same.
now.
No,
Yeah.
it's the same you. You made
Yeah.
the same sort
Oh,
of reference.
oh god. I'm already getting PTSD from last year.
You know what? I hate to say it, but I wouldn't be shocked if at some point we do see a Minecraft 2 and within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Only because you put Minecraft 2,
Stop
everyone's
doing
going
Money.
to buy it. It's going to be a massive money seller.
What is it though? What is Minecraft 2?
That's what there's a
It's
regret.
exactly the same as Minecraft 1, except...
Minecraft 2 is what every single Pokemon game has been since Pokemon Blue, Yellow, and Red. The exact same game,
But it's different.
slightly new video. No, it's not.
No, it is because
I tried to play the new Pokemon this Christmas.
Yeah.
It was the worst game I've ever played in my life.
Well, then you just destroyed your own point, surely.
Because it's just the same game.
Oh right,
It's
but
just
you
like-
hate Pokemon.
I love Pokemon.
No, he hates Pokemon.
Then if it's the same as it always has been, then why is this one bad?
Because
He's played them before and he's
I've
getting
played them
old.
before, and I'm like, what's different? Why am I? Why
You know
selling
all
a
the
new game?
times
And I
when
don't know
I've
any of these
been-
Pokemon. I don't
You know
know
all
who
the times
Squigly
I've been
has.
on the show and I've whinged about the fact that I'm playing the same fucking game again, and Lewis
Yeah.
is like, "Yeah, but this is great and new." He's finally reached that point in his life where he realised, "No, this is the same shit I've been playing over and over again,"
What age is that?
and I'm waiting for change.
Mentally or physically?
40.
Dude,
Dude, you're older than me now.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Minecraft 2 because it makes money.
Yeah, but what is it? Tell
What
me.
is it? No,
it's exactly the same updated visuals.
What? How do you
Hey,
update cubes?
Whoa,
No,
hey,
no,
don't
no.
say that. They made 10-minute press conference at E3 about 4K visuals.
I don't think
For
we're
Minecraft.
gonna, I don't think we're going to be looking at a change in visuals. I think we're going to be looking at a development of the
Female lead
adventure mode.
character.
As in, you can now create
Oh,
your own stories, and it's
that's
going to become
barely
more
a
of
thing,
like
though.
an RPG tool.
Gender neutral main character. Keeping up to the times.
Steve is gender neutral.
Is that his name,
He's
Steve?
a block man.
Can you not be a female?
Maybe there is.
Oh, there you go. That's what I bring in.
No,
Well, you
Steve
just make your own
is-
skin
Steve
on
is the
Steve.
default skin, and yeah, you have your own skins. You make it yourself.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you played Minecraft and Left 4 Dead.
Probably more. I just don't know what. I didn't write that bit down.
No, that's fine.
It's a work in progress, the notebook. you
I
know,
haven't
it's-
written down what
it's
I've
early
played
days.
over the last few bits because I wasn't thinking about it. I was just enjoying playing
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
I purposefully went and got hold of a whole load of games. I've been like,
Hmm.
man, I just want to play these. So I've been playing things like Assassin's Creed Odyssey because
Oh,
I
cool.
love Greek myths. Had really good fun in that. Been playing a lot of Titanfall with Luke again recently.
Yeah, I've
Good
seen you
fun
playing all
blowing
that.
stuff up, running around, jumping. It's good fun. It's a really good shooter. There's just not enough maps, and it was never supported in the way it should have been. It's definitely the best shooter that came
Is it
out
being
of that
supported
time.
at all now? Like,
No,
is it?
no.
No. I suppose
Well,
not.
Respawn have been a bit busy doing pretty much everything else we've been playing. Apex, the new Star Wars, all of that lot. They've been a bit busy doing that, and they've been screwed over by publishers putting their games out at the wrong point because they went up against Battlefield and Call of Duty. Was it
Yeah,
at the
it
time
was-
that came out?
It got delayed.
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
literally
yeah.
launched in between.
It was
the
meant
two
to
of them.
release end of July, I think, Titanfall 2, and it got pushed back to like October. And so yeah, it literally released with
Yeah, got put in the shooter season with the
Yeah.
big shooters, and it was the best shooter out of all of them. But because it didn't have the name,
I dabbled in the online. I've played the story, and I think the story is one of
Story
the
was
best
brilliant.
stories I've played
I
in a
started
shooter.
playing it, but I don't know. I just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
But I want to know the story because
The story's really good.
I know it's supposed to be good. I don't know.
The relationship between
Yeah,
you
it's
and
like-
I'm going to call him
Yeah.
BB-8, but that's not what
It's
he was
like
called.
Turner and Hooch, but with a robot.
Yeah,
Which one are you?
you're Hooch.
Hell yeah.
You are so Hooch.
No, I played maybe the first like half hour to an hour, and then I just sort of stopped. I don't know why.
Played a load of Cat's Quest 2.
Nice.
One day I'll
and
play
Flotsam.
Cat's Quest.
And
Oh, it's had an update recently, isn't it?
yeah,
I saw-
they keep updating and just having fun in that. Trials of Fire I went back on and played because they
I've
update
seen
it every
tons of
bloody
updates.
week.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't keep up with it. They keep like, we've added this. It's like, but I still haven't done that yet.
I've not
Give
played it
us
for
a
a while.
chance,
Actually.
boys.
I've not played it for a while.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I still don't like the overworld map. It's my only issue with that game.
Trials of Fire.
Trials of Fire, yeah.
Mm.
Where you've got to collect food and you've got to do this to be able to move, and you're just like, just put me in the battles.
Yeah.
I love this board game bit. I've got to collect my cards. Just let me build cards. So I played Slay the Spire.
Oh.
Still enjoy Slay the Spire. That's such a good game. So easy to pick up and play. I can't believe how many people haven't completed it though. Haven't got to the heart of the Spire. Because you're like, each
I've done
character
it once,
has a
and I haven't
basic
played
trick.
it since.
Each
Oh.
character has a basic trick that you build your deck around, and once you figure that out, you can go for it. And then once you get confident in it, that's when you start playing around and start going, let's take that out and let's see what this does. Oh my god, that is brutal if you pull it off, and all of those bits. It gets really good fun. Yu-Gi-Oh! On the Switch.
Yeah, I know you've been enjoying
I've been
Yu-Gi-Oh! on the
enjoying
Switch.
Yu-Gi-Oh! On the Switch. That's been good fun.
That's a dark hole to dive down.
That is, Jesus, it's got 9,000
You know all about
cards in the
dark
game.
holes.
9,000 cards
Jeez.
that you've got to learn. And you're just
Dude.
there going... Though you
You
can...
guys should have a break from card games, I think. No.
What do you want to play?
What?
What do you want to play? You said you guys should have a break from card games, so what do you want to play?
Loads of stuff. Left 4 Dead.
I'm too good at that, man.
Minecraft.
Too good at that as well.
That's my entire wheelhouse. So
No, that's it. That's
Only
it.
if I can play as a bee.
You can't play as a bee.
Well,
That's probably involved.
No,
Minecraft
no.
2.
Minecraft 2. Beecraft.
Yeah,
You cracked it.
that's
There
it.
you
Play
go,
as the
there you
bee.
go.
You ask what you want to be, you play as the animals. It's Freddy Got Fingered meets Minecraft. Get inside the animals.
No, thank you.
And Indivisible. I've been playing Indivisible.
Oh, it's on.
It's on Game Pass now, but I've been playing it before then.
Okay,
And yeah.
You should probably cancel that, by the way.
I have.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What you? Oh, well,
his
you're
Game Pass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't work. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. Really enjoying it.
Nice.
You played any games?
Yeah, I've played lots of games.
Don't believe
I played Stardew Valley again a lot.
Magic the
So
Gathering.
the reason I got back into Stardew Valley a lot
Yeah, go
was
on.
because there was lots of kind of downstairs over Christmas. You got family coming and going, and then you're like making food, and there's lots of like stop and start.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And I can't remember. I couldn't sleep one night, like leading up to Christmas, and I had my Switch next to the bed, and I was going through, and I was like, I'm not really in the mood to play that, and I was like, Stardew Valley, I'll go see what my saves up with that. I went on it, and I've not played it since the big update I had recently, and now the new update means that you can start in like. There's like 10 different maps you can start in. You used to just start in the based house. And
Yeah.
but now you got like a snow map, you got like a forest map, all these different, and they kind of create their own unique situation, shall we say.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know this was an update. I didn't know I could do this now. So I jumped into that and then kind of fell down that rabbit hole and was like up for about 3 or 4 hours then doing that, getting ready. And then over Christmas, it was such a good game to pick up for half an hour. Just going to pick my crops up, put it down. I ended up probably putting in 20, 30 hours over Christmas on that again. It's just a fun little game. And they announced today, so congrats to the developer, Concerned Ape. The game has cleared 10 million units sold, which is more
Oh, yeah, I
than
saw that actually.
many AAA games. Like that's massive. That
It's
is
all you.
10 million copies for an indie game is absolutely huge. Yeah, congrats on beating Minecraft on your units sold.
They're nowhere near. They're nowhere near.
So yeah, I played some Stardew Valley. I finally played Disco Elysium. I played and finished Disco Elysium. I wasn't going to. Well, I was always going to play it, but I was like, if I buy this game now, I had like 5 days leading up to Christmas when I was like, I've got nothing on for 5 days. If I'm going to play this game now, I need to do it now. Otherwise, I'm never going to finish it. So I knew it's the kind of game that you step away from for a little bit, you go back and start from the beginning, and you end up in that loop.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to do it. I managed to finish it in like 3 days, which is a bit of a beasting because I mean it's about 25 hours maybe. So I literally caned it. It's amazing. It's so good. It is so good. It is literally playing Dungeons and Dragons on the game to the point where everything's even a dice roll. Like when you do, like so
as in just an RPG.
Yeah, no, but as in the dice actually roll on the screen. As in, like, you roll dice.
But any RPG or DRPG does that.
Yeah, so any paper or tabletop RPG. So but like. What I mean by the Dungeons and Dragons is your character sheet at the beginning. You can choose from different. I can't remember what they are now. You can choose like to be like a bruiser. You can choose to be intelligent or something else, or you can literally make your own starting character up, and then points go everywhere else. You choose how you go along with it, and then that will then give you your check, like percentage of check you got from when you roll. But everything from the like of jumping a bridge. You don't just jump a bridge. You got to do a dexterity check or whatever it is on that. So you have to roll for that, and then you get percentage of success. And it's one of those games that you finish it and you're like, the story's so not short, but the story's so narrow, but there's so much else going on around it. So you finish it and you're like, that game shouldn't have lasted that long, but I'm really glad it did last that long. If that makes sense, like. You're basically just trying to find out.
Outstay its welcome.
No,
but there's so much going on that you really enjoyed.
Yeah, basically it starts with how what we played at Resd.
Yeah, you find smashed on the floor.
So it literally starts there. You find the dead body hanging from the tree, and then the main sole purpose of the game, the story is find out who done it or what happened, and that is it. But there's so much other little bits that kind of pop up that you end up going. I'm like. What am I meant to be doing? Oh yeah, I'm meant to be finding out about this murder guy and that. And then nothing's ever groundbreaking. Nothing's like, oh my god, I've never seen this before. But everything is just so well done.
Yeah.
I will say some of the voice acting is fucking awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's the limitation of it being an indie game. Like the writing's amazing, and when you're reading through, like I mean, you know how much I love reading stuff in games anyway.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot to read in this game. I'm reading the stuff is amazing, but some of the characters that get voice acted are a little bit like, ooh.
Would you rather just left voices out completely?
Yes, yeah, I personally would, but I can see why they've done it because a lot of people wouldn't. A lot of people would be like, oh, more fucking reading.
It's definitely true.
Like, oh, go back to FIFA. Yeah. I can't say that I'm playing FIFA as well, but
yeah,
but no, Disco Elysium is incredible. So I played Temtem. I finally played Temtem last night. This is the MMO Pokemon game.
Sorry, come on, dude.
It's been massive on Twitter.
We've talked about it loads.
I'm just look at my phone. Unrelated reasons.
So the guys have made Immortal Redneck in Klema, whatever you want to pronounce it. Released this game. It's been in early, like closed beta access for about two weeks, whatever you call it, and it's now in early access. People can buy it. It's a lot more expensive than I thought it was. I know your brother really wants to play the game.
30 quid? 30, 40?
It's like 20, yeah, I think it's 30 quid, 29.99. Yeah. And I got a key through late last night, and I was like, oh, do you know what, I'll give it a go. Fuck it, I'll give it a go. I played it for about 2 hours last night, and I played another hour this morning. It is not a good game.
Oh.
It is really not a good game.
Is this because you've played Pokemon before?
No. It does, credit to it, it does try to do stuff different to Pokemon. And I have to say, this game has only just come out in early access. I genuinely believe this game will be good, but at the moment, I've already found the way of becoming I can't get beaten because it has a stamina gauge in it.
Right.
So they've done this stamina gauge to stop people like Pokemon one hit killing. Ooh, and then different attacks have different stamina. You run out of stamina, you lose loads of health.
Yep.
So I just went to the shops and bought a load of stamina potion and effectively played like a control deck. And just block everything and just keep my stamina up. And when they have no stamina, I one hit them.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like I was beating people who were like 15 levels above me. And I was like, block,
That don't sound fun.
keep stamina, block. Some fights were going on for about 10 minutes, and I was like, block, yeah.
Though
Dead, sweet, cool. Let's go on to the next one.
You could argue you're doing that to yourself.
Well, no, it's tactic. Like the idea of it, if you're going to make a creature battle, you're asking me to take my tactics into the game.
And
so,
he is your classic control jerk,
Yeah.
who will just be like, no, I will spend 10 minutes on this fight, and I know you're going to be sitting there going, will you stop fucking blocking? Oh, you're such a dick, you're such a dick.
So
and
my
he'll be getting joy from it. He'll be getting joy knowing that someone on the other end
it gives him life.
I can't
think it
remember
does, yeah.
I can't remember.
That's why he doesn't look quite 40.
No, the Temtems, the Temtems look great. The Temtems do look pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the ones I've got are very
got a
much like the
favourite
fence Temtems.
Favourite temp.
I've only played it for like 3 hours. I can't even remember the names
That's not
now.
a good excuse.
But my dude's like a little rock dude he's like
Geo
a
dude.
he's like a he looks like a hedgehog, but he's got kind of
Geog
rocks
dude.
at the back.
Geog dude.
But no, so it's the combat is a little the combat
Geog bro.
took me
That's better.
the combat took me 15 minutes to realise that I could just as soon as I saw a stamina bar and in the shop I was like, well, there's stamina potions. And I lost a few times and I was like, I keep losing stamina and I was like, I'll get stamina potions. And then I'd done it once and I was like, wait, can I just do this to any fight? And then that was it. I was like, oh,
Will a kid figure that out?
no. Like, this isn't a kid's game. It is this game is seriously in depth. Like, it goes, but what it does is it goes, Pokemon's got no breeding system. Pokemon's got really easy mechanics. We're going to make them super convoluted and super over the top complicated.
Right.
And like you look at the chart where it's like what Pokemon is weak against what Pokemon. It's like looking at the fucking periodic table. It's stupid. There's I think it's 14 or 15 types of Temtem, and it's not your classic like water beats like fire. It is not that. It is like it is.
You're like grass, water beats.
Oh my god, what does water beat?
I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure in Final Fantasy water doesn't beat fire. Water beats ground.
Water nourishes ground.
And because fire doesn't beat water in Final Fantasy, electric beats water.
Well, I think it's clear that the people who made Final Fantasy never went to school.
But anyway,
that's nonsense.
But anyway, so it has like all this weird stuff. Like, where it's got its own like death. Obviously, is like a type of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
That goes against poison, and you're like, what the fuck? So you have to open this manual up, like this journal up, to go look what's my Temtem? Oh, it's poison. So it goes against rock. Cool. Okay, it goes against rock, and then you're like fighting. You're like, what Temtem's this? And you have to go onto their journal and go, oh, it's what's the other one they had? I think it's flying or fairy or something. So you got this other one. You're like, what's that weak against? It's so convoluted. It's so, and then the breeding system feels so mobile.
Right. Okay.
So you get an egg, and you have to play the game straight for 20 minutes to unhatch the egg. So you can't go and just you can't capture you can catch Temtem, but they're really hard to capture. You have to basically play the game consistently to get these eggs, to then play it even more consistently to hatch the eggs. And it means that it's a little bit like a card game, whereas when you're first starting, you're tied down to having super limited amount of Temtems, cards. And you just feel like there's no way of building your collection quickly.
Unless you buy that loot box.
Well, at the moment there isn't. They haven't got that at the moment. They haven't got any monetization in the game at the moment. Now, I honestly think the reason this game is $30 rather than making it free to play is because if people free to play at the moment, they'd play it for about a week, 2 weeks, and then no one play again.
Okay.
They've made like an insurance of saying people buy into it, and they've already sold nearly 1 million units. Like they are flying out.
That's a lot of £30.
So
well, because people love Pokemon.
Yeah. And they've done a good, clever job of going, oh, you know what you hate about Pokemon? We've done it differently, and it does feel different to Pokemon. It looks exactly the same as Pokemon. Like the battle scenes, everything, the animations going into this fight. It's literally fucking Pokemon.
That's for nostalgia reasons.
But they have tried to, and it's the fact that they've tried to do other stuff that I feel like going forward they're going to keep to that. However, I do think if they don't get on that train quick enough, if they don't support the game quick enough, it will just drop off. Like they're going to struggle. There's games coming out like RE Legend is another Pokemon style game coming out with a single player story mode. You've got.
Is this the new indie game trend?
Well, creature battlers I think are going to be pretty big over the next couple of years.
Is that still a thing?
Ooblets is coming out this
year.
Well, is it?
Huh?
Is it?
Yes,
I think
I'd like it to.
It's coming. I pretty much know when it's coming this year, but I'm not allowed to say on here.
You got inside track of it?
We had there's an email with an event that we can go to in London that is to play the games from a certain publisher coming out this year, and next to the games it had release windows.
Yeah.
but we're not allowed to say when it is. But it's sooner rather than later. That's all
But I
say.
can.
Um,
It's coming out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Not
but
telling you which Saturday though.
that was Temtem, and then I've been playing The Witcher 2 as well on stream.
Yeah, streaming that.
And it's a great game.
Is it better than 1?
It's very different.
Yeah, I know one's got. Is one?
One's got the really weird combat.
Rhythmic.
But I love the
It's
combat
weird,
one
isn't it?
because I like the combat one because it's very lore friendly to the book. So I'd read the books before playing 1.
Yeah.
And the way 1 works is it's a clever way of actually of saying back in 2008, how do we make this massive open world RPG adventure game and not do real time combat because the computers will literally blow up if we do it. Like it was a way of how do we do that. So they kind of made it this rhythmic stuff, but you had different stances. So you had a group stance, you had a heavy attack and a light attack, but you had to change stances, and the stances were around the different Witcher schools. So you had like the stance of the cat, the stance of the wolf, and the stance of the I can't remember what the other one was now.
Yeah,
some sort of bird, isn't it?
I want to say owl. It might not be owl.
Just say it if you want to
say owl.
It's called the owl. And you had to kind of like, so you had a big guy, you had to go into heavy stance, and then you had to click the mouse every time a fire appeared on your sword on the screen. So it kind of that has how the rhythm come into it. And then you had to switch across the other stance and then switch the other stance. Now a lot of people didn't like it. I quite liked it.
It's unique.
But it felt lore friendly because you're changing how you would fight depending on your opponent, which is what Witchers do anyway. And then Witcher 2 is very much an idea of Witcher 3's combat. Like it's pretty janky for real time combat. I mean, I'm playing mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of times you're like swinging, and the guy's like you're the guy, and you're like, and just keep going that way. And I'm like, come on, Garrett, mate. I'll let you get out your animation. Now let's turn around and fight this guy, shall we? But there's a few times that happens.
That sounds a little rough.
But again, it's.
I'd fucking love it if they did that in the TV series.
Henry Cavill just
nuts
on some
swiping
air.
at nothing in the air, they'd be like, oh, hang on.
I really wanted them to do a some kind of parody with Roach, like when he's randomly on a house building, like.
Yeah,
I really thought they were going to.
Right, when he's like, what's that noise? And then it's just like Roach on the roof, like. Roach. But no, Witcher 2 is fun. It's really fun. I'm like halfway through the game. It doesn't really interest me. I had no idea about when chapter 2 you have to make like there's basically it's 2 games in one.
Right.
So chapter 2 you have to choose a path to go down, and then apparently that path is like that's you now for the game, and then stuff you do will really affect the other path. Or if you go down like for example you can go with shouldn't be a spoiler. You can go with the elves and then go against Temerian Guard and the Blue Stripes. But then going into 3, that completely changes the way the middle part of 3 works. Because the Blue Stripes are like, no, you fucked us off over early, mate. You're with the terrorists because they see the score tower terrorists. You go with the Blue Stripes, and then they're like, well, like the dwarfs hate you, and there's when you need to get help from them in 3, they're like, no, and you have to fight this whole other boss fight apparently because you have to convince them to get on side.
Yeah.
But and also the last thing I was saying, which too is my God, that game came out in 2011. The CG trailers in that game, like the cutscenes, are mind blowing. Like you watch it now and you're just like,
they're pre-rendered though, aren't they?
But like,
I mean, it's like artistic skill. It looks amazing and all that.
Oh, it's in like the Kingslayer cutscene. I was watching it like, this is like if I saw this in a game now, I would be like, this is fucking amazing.
I thought nowadays, like it would be in engine.
Oh, it would be yeah. Oh no, you're completely right. It's not in engine at all.
Yeah,
but it's like it was one of the first times I had a moment like I had as a kid when I played Final Fantasy VII, and I remember seeing the first cutscene in that and being like,
"No, I remember that.
Is this real?" Like, and even my mum being like, "Oh my god!"
First time, so we got the PlayStation 1. My dad bought a PS1. We hooked up to the telly and we played Gran Turismo. And we were playing off-road racing, and the dirt came up from the back of the car, and all of us sat there going, "It'll never get better than this. That's like real fucking life. Oh my god, the dirt sticks to the car, as in it put a dirty brown mark on there.
Yeah, like a really low-res texture.
Low-res texture thing.
Car, yeah.
But still, we sat there like, shit, it's the future. The future's here.
So they said that's on it. Video games will never be like look real life, and then people with Kingdom Hearts 3 were like, the game now looks better than Toy Story.
Yeah, the
That
first
ain't real
movie.
life, though, is it?
No, but you know what I mean. As in, that's what they were saying.
What
Like,
you're saying, yeah.
It'll
Um,
never hit as good as the movies. And
yeah.
while you're having to play, and then it's like, hang on,
we've got past
no.
it now.
yeah, definitely.
But no, that's
yeah.
that's pretty much what I went to. Not tons of indie games actually, but I did play quite a lot of indie games last year. I wanted to catch up on God of War. I wanted to play a new Star Wars game. I didn't get a chance to. Played lots of card games. Hey ho, that's what I do.
You still haven't played Star Wars, have you?
No.
I haven't played it.
Neither you
I
played
almost brought
Yeah.
it, but then
Oh, I'll bring it in next
I
I
week.
was
was waiting
literally-
to borrow it from you.
I was
Yeah, but
literally
then
going to
sorry
buy
to
it.
bring
No, we didn't see each other, so I was like,
I was gonna,
"Hello."
I was gonna buy it. I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna play Star Wars over the holiday. I'm gonna stream it. And then I saw that girlfriend reviews video, and I was like, oh, I just bought it off Tom.
She does. Well, they do sort of like destroy it, but it's not that bad.
I mean, they kind of had evidence it's that bad.
Oh no, yeah, it's buggy. I even said that to
Yeah.
you guys. It's a bit buggy, but to be honest, you
I
see
love
through it.
their Sonic reference.
Oh yeah.
They're like, it
That
matches
is
all
good.
these games together. Uncharted, Tomb Raider, Sonic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it does.
You can borrow it first. I'm just gonna say you can borrow it first. I'll bring it next week.
Cool.
But she got some news. There's really not a lot of news this week.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
News this week.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he's done it.
Nice.
So kicking us off.
The staples of this show.
I'm sorry.
People,
I'm sorry. We're letting
the
standards
people
drop.
want to hear that kind of stuff. You know? Don't laugh. It's not a joke.
So kicking us off, Housemark. Remember Housemark? You know Housemark?
Do you remember the House Minds?
Housemark.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
And the Jetsons. Remember the Jetsons?
What, the cartoon?
Yeah,
I
okay.
do, yeah,
okay,
okay.
let's just go through all sorts of random shit.
Same universe. Yeah.
What, as the house mark?
Oh my god, Neil Peart's dead. Like, why don't we talk about that for the show?
Who? Nah, don't get
Like, you don't know who Neil
Yeah,
Peart is.
So
A lot of
Housemark,
people-
who are a you got
A lot of
Someone just
people
jizzed on your
died
glasses.
actually. Christopher Tolkien died as well.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Can we just say as well quickly? Please tell me you guys have seen Ricky Gervais's opening speech at the Golden Globes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So funny.
One of the best bits as well was like, we were going to have a memorial video up here, but not enough black people died, so we didn't think it was diverse enough. I was like, woo! He went there. Maybe we'll have one next year.
He's so funny, honestly.
Oh my god! The whole. I was thinking this is pretty bad. And then he went on to the whole Einstein and
Epstein, yeah.
and Prince Andrew stuff, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa,
Tom Hanks
Jesus!"
was like,
Oh, Tom Hanks he looked furious, didn't he?
he didn't look happy.
Absolutely
I wouldn't
furious.
think he'd be that upset by that kind of thing.
Like, what was it he said when he was like,
He's quite straight-laced, is the
I
old
guess
Tom
he
Hanks.
is, yeah,
And,
he was like,
you know...
talk about Epstein? He's like, you guys are only sad because you have to get your own planes here. Oh,
yeah. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
yeah. I just
Moving
really
on from Jeffrey Epstein.
Housemark.
The House Minds, yeah.
Housemark are so they're a Finnish developer who's made some really cool arcade shooters. They made Resogun and then they made Nex Machina, and they announced about it wasn't the most recent E3. It was previous E3 before that, 2018's E3. They showed off Storm Divers, which was a battle royale style arcade shooter thing. That they were like, "This is our next big game. Look at this! You've landed these pods and it's a battle royale." Jumping on the back of Fortnite and PUBG's, all that kind of stuff. We haven't heard anything from Storm Divers for a very, very long time, and they've turned around and now said that all projects, including Storm Divers, are put on hold for a major game. Now,
Interesting.
they're going back to their arcade roots, is what they've said.
Right.
Basically, in my opinion, that means Storm Divers is dead.
Yep,
the battle royale
good idea.
is
Yeah.
gone.
Get rid of that.
Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Resogun, which is a great game, was the first game available for PS Plus players on PS4. It was a launch title on PS4 as a free game.
Yeah.
People are saying, are they working on this new game now and announcing this because it's going to be a launch title on PS5, PS Plus?
Oh, okay.
So-
yeah, maybe.
Resogun 2.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it'll be a new IP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll probably be along that shooty arcade style because, you know, that's what they do and that's what they do well. But, yeah, I think we'll be looking at a new IP.
Yeah. I think it was a case that I don't want to say I hope Storm Divers is dead because that means that they've lost money, but I hope that they have decided, or they take assets, game design, whatever they made for it, and they put it into a different third-person shooter project in the future. Like,
Yeah, why not?
I mean, all we've got to do is copy and paste like the shooting mechanics across. And
That's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just copy and paste it.
Well, and they'll have built the engine, they'll have built the bit
Yeah.
behind it, so they could change that into whatever they want without having to really force it. But I glad that they're not going to be doing a
It was way
battle
It
royale.
was too late in 2018.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
2020 now. It's the future. We don't
Yeah.
want battle royales.
It's the future.
We've had enough of that. It's the future. We
I
Do
do
you
like
know,
being in the
Radical
future.
Heights?
Oh
Yeah,
my
I was so
God.
disappointed that never actually
Yeah.
got
I
a kick out there.
I
'cause
honestly
think that
think-
would have been good.
If that game was... Now, I know it was a case of they didn't know Battle Royale was going to be as big as it was and they kind of threw something together and put it out there. But if that game had been in development for 5 more months when it released, I think it would have had some sticking ground. Because I think your likes of Dr. Disrespect, who loves the 80s, loves that
Yeah.
cheesiness, would have been so on it.
Would have been
But
on
it
it,
was, the
yeah.
issue was, high school players were losing because it was a fucking mess. Like, shooting the player and you're like, it's not hitting him. Like,
Yeah.
it's not hitting him.
Well, that was
Like,
the end
Yeah.
of Thingy, Bosky, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bosky.
I saw the death of Bosky and...
That guy who made, they made Lawbreakers? Was that the other one they made? It was like the Overwatch
and
wannabe.
it's what's his face, the guy who
Made Gears.
and Bulletstorm, and I can't remember his name now, which is really
his
Cliff
name,
Blazinski.
Cliff Blazinski.
How did you forget that? Now?
Cliffy B.
Oh, Cliffy B. Eh?
Cliffy B. yeah, Well, that's basically what he was known as, and he'd like to be known as basically the Limp Bizkit of gaming, which is basically what he kind of dressed himself as.
Wow.
Red
What
hat
a
and all.
title.
What a
The
title!
Limp Bizkit
The
of gaming.
Limp Bizkit of gaming is how I would describe him.
Yeah, that was the end of that,
I
wasn't
think
it?
with the Limp Bizkit of podcasts.
I think we definitely have.
Yeah.
We definitely have the lyrical skill.
Oh, you mean incredible skill?
Yep, Dr.
Next piece of
Zeus
news
stood up.
is Descenders, the downhill mountain biking game, is finally coming to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch.
Cool.
So it
Okay.
launched on PC back last year in early access. I loved it when I played it in early access, but it was a little bit bare bones. It released end of last year on
I like it.
Xbox
Alright.
Game Pass. It released on PC in full release, and it's now coming to Switch and PlayStation. It's a game that you got to, yeah. I enjoyed it. I know you said you didn't really like it.
Yeah, I played it on Game Pass. I found it just a little bit too restrictive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
It's
could
like,
see
you
that.
know, I enjoyed some of it. I liked some of the ideas, but it
Yeah.
was way too. And there's your line.
Oh, it's downhill mountain biking, isn't it? That's what you do.
Yeah. It's a jump in, jump out kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to play Dave Mirror again. I want Tony Hawk's skateboard like it
Yeah.
used to be. Like, here's the area. There is a
you play
perfect
Steep?
line to go through it.
Play Steep?
I played
It's
Steep.
kind of in that sort of vein.
Yeah,
that's-
I thought Steep missed out on the fact that it couldn't decide what it was going to be.
Yeah,
It didn't know if it was going to be a serious snowboarding and skiing game,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
if it was going to be
Oh,
your
yeah,
Tony
yeah.
Hawk's, and it never hit either.
True.
And you were just like,
Yeah.
pick one and do it. Which is why we need SSX Tricky. We need another one of those, and we need a decent skateboarding game again.
Snowboard kids.
That's another. Go back to Tony Hawk's 2.
Yeah.
Here's your area. That is a perfect way where you can complete this whole thing, get everything in one run.
But whatever, have fun.
But whatever, have fun,
Yeah.
and here's a kick-ass soundtrack
Yeah.
that
See,
you will play and
that's
loop
what on
again
Steam, I
and
would
again
just put my
and
own
again.
music on. I would
Yeah.
turn the
Yeah,
sound
that
of the game.
shit off straight away.
Put my own music on and just chill out for like half hour. I just snowboard down a hill.
Because I mean, there are games where, like Crazy Taxi and Tony Hawk's the first one.
Mm.
I know the soundtracks to them because they were the soundtracks.
You could probably go
to
on-
my
you-
life.
I think also
You go on Spotify
they were
anyway, couldn't
small
you?
soundtracks.
Yeah, they were.
You
But
go on
well,
Spotify and type in Tony Hawk soundtrack, couldn't
Oh,
you?
yeah.
It
I
would
should
have
get
the...
that, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm crazy buddy. Hey, where you going? You're crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I know this. Let's keep going.
Don't get enough licensed music in games these days, do you?
It's absolute hodgepodge, isn't it? Though? It's just I reckon developers do it though because if anything happens, they can't sell the game anymore. Like, or they have to take it out.
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah,
game.
but
That's
fucking
probably why they do
still,
it. Like the whole thing of
Vice, was it? No, is it?
I was thinking of Alan Wake. They had to change
Oh, right.
the game Alan Wake because it had a PlayStation in it. An Xbox in it because it was an Xbox title. It was an Xbox
Yeah.
like studio.
Yeah.
Then they left Xbox and they had to basically completely like change this one asset in the game of take the Xbox out and just make it a normal console because they couldn't sell the game of it. It's just ridiculous. It's like no
Yeah.
one's going to look at in the trailer and go, "Oh, look, there's an Xbox." Oh,
I hate this game.
Yeah.
Therefore, I hate Xbox.
oh, it's just so stupid. So I think it's
Actually, people will say that. I've been on Twitter long enough now that yeah, people really will say. In fact, I'd probably say it.
it's just stupid. Isn't it? But I think that's why. Just Yeah, licensed music is.
So yeah, sorry, I keep
Yeah.
distracting us from what we're talking
No, no.
about. Descenders.
Descenders, yeah,
That's what this podcast is
PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. If you like, I mean, it is okay, like Dan said. Also, I'm pretty sure, so on PC and on Xbox, there is a demo available. I'll be amazed if the demo doesn't go on PlayStation and Switch as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good way of just checking the game out. But it is, like I said, I enjoy it. There's definitely it's really easy to pick up and play, but there's definitely a skill ceiling where it gets to, where when you want to start unlocking the higher rep stuff, you need to be accumulating like 30,000 rep points in one run. And
Yeah.
that's a big skill ceiling. You watch someone who's a high level player, like I watched some videos on it, and they do the whole thing like backwards, and I try it backwards for a second, and I'm on the floor. I'm like, Jesus, these guys are insane. But yeah, it's definitely tries to hark back to classic arcade style trick and run, whatever you want to call them, games, but it doesn't give you the free roam. I think that Dan was before. And the final bit of news this week, like I said, not much. It's first person puzzle game. I haven't actually wrote it down. First person puzzle game, and I'm trying to remember what it was called now.
I don't know, mate.
Isn't it?
Comes
One
to
you really
Nintendo
like.
Switch.
Which one you really like?
The Witness.
I don't know if you actually played it yet.
Played it?
Cube 2.
No. The Turing Project. The Turing,
the Turing Project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that.
the Turing Project. The Turing Project is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Sorry, what the hell was that
Move on.
laughter?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, first person
All's
puzzle
well.
game.
Yeah.
The Turing Project is coming to Nintendo Switch on the 7th of February. I've not played it. It's a very popular puzzle game. Dan has played it. Yeah.
I've completed it
You
a
enjoy it?
couple of times. Yeah, no, it's a really nice puzzle game. It's not incredibly difficult, but what is really nice is there are hidden puzzles. So you have a main game you can go through, you can solve the puzzles. It's your classic first-person puzzle one. It's about looking for colours, it's about looking for shapes that you're going to move through, blah, 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 blah. If you play Portal or anything like that, you can know what to expect. But what's really nice is there are side rooms and side bits that have hidden puzzles in.
That's really cool.
And that always grabs me. Kind of like The Witness had these secret puzzles that you could move through, and then you start finding out the entire freaking world is a puzzle, and you just get lost, and then you get a little bit scared. Because you're like, there's just too much here. There's too much. I'm 40 this year. I don't have time for this shit. Jesus.
So you're not the only one.
No.
You're hang on. How many? I always forget how many years younger than me. You're 4 years younger than me. You're 36.
I'm 33.
Nah.
No, I'm 34 this
So you're
year.
36.
36 sounds a bit closer.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's 52.
But anyway,
What, him?
Yeah.
the Turing Project is
52.
developed by Bulkhead Studios, Bulkhead Interactive. If you have the Xbox Game Pass, it is on Game Pass now.
Be nice, wouldn't it?
If you have, it's on PlayStation, it's on PC. But if you like puzzle games, would you say stuff like what's the game you really liked that was loosely had references to The Shining? Spectrum Retreat.
Spectrum Retreat.
Is
Yeah.
it similar to something like that? Because that's on the Switch. I'm trying to think for Switch players. They're trying to think of a reference. point.
Yeah. As a puzzle game, I think the Spectrum Retreat has a nicer story.
Okay.
But it's pretty simple puzzle.
But it is a very simple puzzle, whereas the Turing test is going to give you more interesting ones, and it
Turing
plays-
test, not Turing Project.
it plays with the idea of what the Turing test does is can you know if something's a robot or not, which is really nice.
Blade Runner in a puzzle game.
Exactly.
And that's it for news. I mean, don't expect tons of news for the first couple of months of the. Well, let's say probably the first month. Indie games.
End of February. We should
Yeah,
start getting quite a lot.
indie games start really ramping up around mid to end February,
Yeah.
and then you have something like EGX Res coming up end of March, and then around then summer's where indie games are biggest because they get everything out before the big AAA stuff comes.
Just
And then
when we
around
run up to
about
Christmas.
August, September time, it really starts to take a plummet down. And you get the odd bigger indies like the Focus Home AA's. They kind of put a few games out here or there.
Because they're now going to make the splash against the larger ones.
Yeah.
And then Christmas is dead.
Yeah.
It's just dead.
Instant gaming in general is just...
Dead, yeah.
But yeah, so going on to it then, our favourite games of 2019. So I didn't give you a list you had to write down. I went through all, because as you know, I'm weird and I write down every game I play on my spreadsheet.
That is
But I
weird.
finish. Every game I finish, every
Probably
game I
should start
play.
doing that though.
Because I'm only going to give a game of the year to a game I've actually finished. If I didn't finish a game, there's probably a reason I didn't like it. So every game I finish, I write down. I always aim to get to 100 games every year. I've done that 2 years ago. I got 102 games.
Well done.
Last year I was miles off. I got 72 games finished.
It's not miles off, is it? That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. This year I've dropped it down to 50 as my target.
Yeah, you're having a kid.
With
mate.
a kid coming, I
Yeah.
figured
I
like
think you're going to be lucky if you hit 50.
right?
This is Lewis.
Yeah,
Lewis
no. You see, the
disappears into a
beautiful
pocket
bit
dimension.
here is neither of you have had young kids.
I will finish
You
games
don't
like that.
No.
Brian, you're out there.
Brian, shut up for a second.
Just
alright?
wait until we see these eyes with bags and black bits. We'll be celebrating,
My
buddy.
point is,
Did you just tell Brian to shut up again?
Yeah, Brian, stop. Alright? I'm trying to talk. Okay? Even now,
Yeah.
right? I am 23, I think?
I can't believe you don't know how old you
I
are.
forget.
I'm
Um,
on Burgundy.
I struggle to find time to play games.
Yeah.
This man, who is busier than me, is he not? I get the impression he is.
Describe busy. We're talking about a guy who managed to put 25 hours into a game over 3
This
days.
is my point. How does he do it? I don't know how he does
Because
it.
he's not busy, because he spent 25 hours playing a computer game.
I'm lucky if I have enough energy to play half an hour of a game when I get home from work.
PE
And then I fall asleep. Oh, good point. I'm not really a teacher. Then I fall asleep. And then it's the next day again and I go to work. I'm like, damn it. Didn't play a game again. Anyway, yeah, life's depressing.
Yeah. So
Let's get to work.
50 is my target. if I'm at like 40,
Oh my shit. Dan or dance?
indeed.
Lewis or dance or Lewis or Lewis isn't. What is it get? Oh,
Be scary
guys.
if they were.
Hang on. Let's get a close up.
There might be a joke on there you shouldn't show the camera.
Okay, right, I might hide that one first. That was very close. Patrons, if you are part of our Patreon, as
We'll put a
patrons
picture
can
up.
see
I'll put a
whatever,
picture up on,
you will get a picture, and we'll show. Okay, that's
That's
a good
the one
one.
I'm talking about.
That is a good one.
I love this one. Hell let loose.
That's my
Be
conclusion.
scary.
If they
If they
were
were let
loose.
There's a way of going about things here.
Oh my god.
You see, I didn't.
I've got to work on my shit now. I mean,
I'll
look.
go first here.
I got pages that include publishers, dates of release, titles, what they're
I
related to.
have 3 games written down here.
Well, here's the thing.
and
Okay?
you've got a beautiful piece of artwork.
I had to think about it. I had to think. All right.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
just say something?
Yeah.
For audio listeners, because people audio listeners won't have a clue what we're on about right now.
Oh.
Tom has got what you used to call a
Brainstorm.
brainstorm.
Mind map. It's
Yeah.
a
mind map,
Yeah.
thought bubble, whatever you want to bloody call it.
Incredible. So this is
So-
the first time he's ever brought a piece of paper along with
Yeah,
us
yeah.
to show that he's done some work, right? and it's just it's a real good look into Tom's brain.
Well,
and
I
think
thought
we've all...
I'd put it on paper.
Have you ever seen A Beautiful Mind?
Snakes. Yeah, I have. That is not
I see
that.
it every day, mate.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? We've got Indiana Jones
Well, yeah.
references.
Here, I'll,
In there, sound indie? Question mark.
let me walk you through it. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So basically,
Can we
The-
change this section of the show to not games of 2019, but what the hell has Tom done?
okay. Well, then here we are.
Brilliant.
So it was about games. It was our best games of the last year, basically.
Yeah.
And I had a real think. I even looked through all my Steam list, my Epic list, my PlayStation list,
Yeah.
all games I played this year. And I haven't played many good indie games.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's whack in my map.
It wasn't a great year for them, to be honest.
Well, yeah, to be fair,
Yeah.
it wasn't amazing. So let's start where I start. Indie games. Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Right? Snakes. Well, it'd have to be snakes. A classic line from the film.
Exactly, yeah.
Snakes are reptiles.
Uh-huh.
I thought. Some reptiles, have horns. Bear with me.
Okay.
Horns. Demons have horns. Alright? Demons come from where?
Hell.
Hell, alright? Alright? And I hope they stay there. It'd be scary if they were let loose.
Oh.
Alright? Hell plus let loose.
Oh, hang on. He's unfolding
Came to my
another piece of paper
conclusion.
here.
And that is Hell Let Loose is the only good indie game I played last year. Therefore, it is the best indie game of 2019.
Oh my god, this was a whole prop piece. You
Yeah.
That's
What is a
amazing.
game? Dan or dance?
Oh,
I love
Have you
that.
seen
They're
Lewis or Lewis isn't?
I was just thinking about stuff, you know?
Lewis or Lewis.
Did you read this one?
I did read that
Yeah,
one.
okay,
I
yeah.
still don't know if we should read that out loud.
No.
It's a snake.
Undecredible.
So why Hell Let Loose?
Because Hell Let Loose is just a top-notch World War II shooter. I've been waiting for one for years.
Yeah.
I haven't played one that I really enjoyed since like 2008 or something.
Yeah.
So it was just so nice to play a World War II shooter that was so good.
Don't you think though, Hell Let Loose is just a bit too hard?
No, because
Not when you shoot your own
I ain't
team.
no pussy. So I found it quite easy.
I had a brilliant one. So
Yeah.
I play Hell Let Loose.
Yeah.
And I started this map, and there were 5 people in the map.
Oh,
And I was
wow,
like, oh, okay,
It's a small
fair
map,
enough,
yeah.
small map. I was on my own, they were all together. And I was like, hang on, shit.
Something's going
So
on
I
there.
just start running. And I run all the way across the map.
That'll take you half an
Nothing's
hour.
taken. It took me quite a while.
Yeah.
I was like, but I get to their other side. I'm taking the bases on the way. And I'm like, hang on, no one's doing it. I've managed to hold all of these. If I take this one, I
You've won.
freaking
Yeah.
win.
That could be a world record. For quickest win.
1v4, and then all of a sudden they just take the one behind me. And I'm like, what have they been doing for ages? So I start trying to run back to get them.
Yeah.
Because I can't take the next base if they've taken that one. Then all that happens is I'm chasing them across the map. As they're slowly taking everything, what happens? They win because they can take everything. Because I haven't made it back across the fucking map to get to them.
Geniuses.
By the time. I'm like, this is bollocks.
Trying to get their win numbers up.
Yeah.
I will say,
I think it's a great game.
One day we'll play it all together.
One day, one mythical day.
Yeah, we always say we will.
I
And
will,
managed
then
it.
nothing happens.
I will say, it wouldn't have got my game of the year. It's not my kind of game, but it is definitely some of my
Sure.
favourite gaming memories
Yeah,
of 2019.
So fun.
Playing with
I mean,
you
Ziyar.
was
Ziyar is like an
like
ongoing
it was
joke.
it. I've never played a hardcore shooter before. Like for me, COD was a hardcore shooter. I played this and I was like, why are people whispering? I was like, why is everyone whispering? And then the guy we were with, who was German or sounded very German,
Yeah.
was like,
It was a German
"I'll
server, I
proxy
think.
chat and all things like that." And then he was like, "Are you following me?" And that's when I was like, "Zia!" You're like,
He was a really nice guy.
but it was a case of
Where is
like,
he now?
and that made me realise I went into it as a joke, and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a dick in this game."
Yeah.
And I ended up like hiding under a bridge and being like, "I'm sorry, there's a tank, there's a tank."
Does give you that
and it was so.
Oh, the
some of my
tanks, the fear of tanks is real.
some of
It
my
is real.
some of my
single
kills,
bullet is
some of
real.
my kills were unbelievable. I mean, the guy running
Yeah,
across,
it was-
regardless, he was on my team.
No. What was unbelievable is how many team kills you had. It was ridiculous. You just constantly
It
murdering.
was just trying to get him. Ah, killed. Damn it, it's on my team. Damn it. Like,
Look,
because there's a delay, isn't there? That's the thing. So we should probably say, for those who don't know what Hell Let Loose is, it's only on PC at the moment. Will it ever come to consoles, do you think?
I don't think so.
It's a bit hardcore, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too.
I mean,
It's
it
too
would,
really
but
accurate.
it wouldn't be as good.
Yeah.
Mainly because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not going to get that quality of shot in. You're not
Yeah.
going to get those.
It's what we were
bits you get.
talking
That's
about
a really up the aim.
with your brother the other day, with like people, console players. Like a good example that was very public was Division 2.
Yeah.
Like Division 2 Raid, people couldn't finish it on console because they balanced it for PC.
Right. Okay.
PC players like got through the raids. It was hard, but they got through it.
Yeah.
Console players couldn't finish for. It was nearly like 10 days before a console team finished it.
Yeah.
So, like,
Jesus.
I mean, and Ubisoft were like, no, we're going to make it easier to get better. Like basically, and it was that case of like, and then Doom was the same. Innit? Doom had to dump some stuff down.
It was Overwatch.
Overwatch. That was it.
Overwatch. So you had the little dwarf guy who put out the turrets.
Jorlog.
Yeah, the turrets were absolutely beasting
Yeah,
people
like-
on console, whereas on PC they were like,
They were
"What's
trash
your problem?" These
Yeah.
are shit.
because you couldn't get to aim to them in time.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same, like you said. But it is. If anyone wants a
It'd be
hardcore
cool, but
shooter,
it would need some proper tweaking to work on
Yeah.
console, I think.
if anyone wants a hardcore shooter that you can play with teams,
You like World War II?
Big World War II shooters
Yeah,
where you're
huge
playing
maps.
real huge maps, big battles where you're really working as a team.
Yeah.
And it's one of those moments where you love going on and you're watching that one kid who's played Call of Duty all his life and you watch him run out into a field and get shot.
He gets
There's
shot
nothing better.
once and dies.
Yeah.
Because you take damage like
dead.
seriously.
Oh my god.
like, what,
yeah.
a headshot you're dead, 2 body shots you're dead.
Yeah. If you're lucky.
If
Yeah.
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 But it's it is one warning. Games are long. Like this is a proper multiplayer shooter. Games
really
are
like
2
some
hours.
2 hour matches.
Yeah.
But if you it has its market, and it's clearly, from what I see, it's doing very well in its market.
And that is updating constantly. It's currently it's not full release at the moment.
No,
it's still in early access.
Updates all the time.
And it isn't perfect yet. There are
course,
bugs and there are issues with aim and shot and just little bits.
Yeah,
but they are each time they're getting more and more polished, and it's getting that little bit
to be really.
I still love the thing you were telling me when it was just before I got on with you actually to play, and you were saying you're in the trench and you could hear this noise, and you turn around and this plane just come along. And like you see, that's what the game offers.
And it
that
was
kind
so
of
good
scenarios.
because it was like there was I don't know, I can't remember how many players you can have on a map, but it was basically my entire team were in this long trench along
60,
the road.
isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like 60 players on a map, 30 aside.
Yeah, so it was 30 people all in this trench, like digging in, ready for the fight.
Yeah.
And this plane, we was like, and we were like, huh? What's going on? And then suddenly it's like, just like bullets just light up the entire trench. And like less than half of us survived, and it was horrifying. But it was so cool.
But I think that's what it does really well. It builds those horrifying moments where you sit there and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that. It's nice. That's a weird thing to say. It's good to have those moments that make history come to life and make them more visceral.
That's a really good way of saying.
For people who are so disconnected.
2 beers was too many for me.
From any war now, really, apart from for us, anyone who's out in the Gulf War who's done one of those. Like,
even though we are technically at war, I think at the moment, it's so far removed and it's not the same anymore.
No,
it's small teams going in.
It's definitely a game that if you play with a work colleague, the next day at work you would be sharing stories on. Like that kind of game where you'd be like,
"Oh my god, remember when we went to that barn? Yeah, and you said." There's a guy in there, and you lobbed a grenade, and that guy was me.
but that's exactly what would happen.
Remember that one?
Remember that? Oh yeah, I knew it was you. But no, it's that game.
Remember me shouting clear before you threw that grenade in?
It was, but it is that kind of game that would have those work stories.
So you want to play it, guys?
I really do.
So do I.
I'm sat on my computer, not being played at the moment.
To carry you guys.
When are we going to play it?
Shut up.
We need to get my little brother on it as well.
Can we get?
We should get Trev.
Can we get as well? Any time this weekend, guys. If you want to play,
I can't. It's Burns this weekend.
Burns.
Aye, it's Burns. It's Burns.
The poet. My mum's Scottish, and when we were young, she was like, "Burns Day soon," and we were like, "Who?" And she got fucking angry.
What do you mean you don't know Robbie Burns? He's a freaking poet. He's a god.
She said, "What the hell are they teaching you at school?"
I go to an English school. We learn about the bard. We learn Shakespeare, not some tool who writes about a fucking maggot in a woman's hat. Now jog on.
She literally pulled out a book of Burns poems.
I bet she did.
And she was like, "Read that."
Read that. But no, I hope they update soon, so we have like a red arrow and a blue arrow above the.
No.
That was in the game.
That's pussy shit. I don't want that.
Part of the game is
keep
you
killing
the uniform. It's not that hard.
Oh, actually, yeah. Don't worry, it's too late now. I just remember saying us to play that I actually really enjoyed over Christmas. But
let's get on with our game of the year though. So Hell Let Loose.
Hell Let Loose.
I'll put mine in my notes now.
Cool.
My God, that whole thing was just for Hell Let Loose.
Yep.
I did like how he went around it. It was a good little.
I don't like going from right to left. That's the
bizarre,
only thing
isn't
that
it?
me.
Well, it was a moment of chaos.
Yeah, no,
it wasn't like, oh, I'll write this out. It was like, yes, I can figure this out. I have strings going from here to there all over the room and all that. But yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
Dan
or Dan
or Dant.
Definitely with the Dan.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, go for it.
So I had a few games I was thinking of for this one. Disco Elysium. After playing Disco Elysium over Christmas, it was a game. It has that. It's one of those games. It was a game, yeah. It's one of those games that when you finish it, you keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
And for days afterwards, you're still thinking, if I'd done that differently, how would it have played out? And I will go back and play it, guaranteed. Probably in the middle of this year. Like I'll go back and play it a lot more casually. Apparently, I saw on Twitter that there are some things that you can't even see depending on how your opening build is. Like for example, you can't even do some stuff if your opening build isn't intelligent enough. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? Like iClassic went as like intimidation. I went all in on intimidation, and I was like, I'm gonna get through this by being like, you are, mate.
Yeah.
What? And then be like, yeah, he told me, didn't he? But my intelligence was super low, and it meant that I didn't. Basically, in the game, I never knew where I was. It was like location I know because people would tell me, and unless I remembered it, my character wouldn't remember because he was as thick as shit. Basically, me.
Your character's walking around like,
Where was I?
Yeah.
Oi, you fucker! I'll tell you.
I'll fight you.
But no, Disco Elysium was very impactful. It's just a great story game, and I love story games. Katana Zero is a game I've banged on about all year.
Yeah.
I love games that ask you to be a skillful player, ask you to do stuff in a set, like whatever you want to call it, and give you the arsenal to do it. And this had that with the storyline with it as well. I loved the way that you could, the levels went in, and it wasn't a case of, oh, you got to go in this door and kill this enemy. Even like you mapped it out how you want to do it, and the puzzle was like, well, if I get this item here, I can throw this to this guy. That's going to get that guy's attention. I'll jump around this way here. I can kill him. I can come back down here, go behind them there.
I think it made it. I think it did a really good job of making you think that you were creating how to solve it, but it was actually quite a linear puzzle game.
Oh, it was. It was the same as Hotline Miami.
Yeah, but what they did better than Hotline Miami is the story.
Yeah.
And the story is the thing that really the puzzle and the fighting. Yes, you have to be really nice and perfect with your shots, which is a classic.
It's one hit kill, isn't it? You hit, you're dead.
But what they did really well was the story in that, which is good because their other games for the year, because this was Devolver Digital, wasn't it? Was shit.
Yeah, I didn't like My Friend Pedro. People really like that game.
Pedro is awful.
I thought it was like if you gave a 14-year-old kid a budget and said, "What are you going to do?" He's like, "I'm going to do bullet time with gore."
And you're like,
he's a banana.
Yeah.
But also, some of the collision detection won't work properly.
Yeah, it was a bit. I get the game was designed to be janky with My Friend Pedro. I didn't like how janky it was. It didn't feel like it was.
I don't think you should be. I don't think you should be making a platformer in this day and age that isn't tight. That isn't that perfect edge.
No excuse.
There's no excuse. And Super Meat Boy, which still for me is one of the best platformers you can play in that hardcore edge, is like precision perfect on its movement.
Yeah.
And if two guys who basically lived on a small amount of money and really scraped everything together can make such a beautifully perfect game in that thing, then Devolver Digital should be able to splash cash into a game about a guy who likes a banana and make it bloody work.
It was just weird, wasn't it?
Tony Hawk's the first one was better than My Friend Pedro, and that had some issues.
And then the other game was I went back through and looked at all the games played, and I was like, I really enjoyed A Plague Tale: Innocence as a story game. I really liked.
I really wanted to play that.
The type
this has just come to Game Pass on PC.
Has it?
Yeah, so I'm going to give it a go. I haven't played it, so
it's
I don't.
Not. Well, it does. I don't want to say. I don't want to say clever, but what it does is it takes mechanics we've seen millions of times before, but it makes them into more of a story mechanic. So you feel like you're doing something you've done lots before, like sneaking behind guards, but it makes it a story mechanic, and so it doesn't feel as regurgitated as it does in other games, where it's like we just got a stealth section to pad it out. This is going to take you 15 minutes to walk through because we don't want to make extra story. This, you're doing it for a genuine reason.
Yeah.
And the rap mechanic is something I love. It was never really went deeply into, but then again, I don't think they were ever trying to make it as a super hard puzzle game. It was always just a mechanic of, padding it out to make the story last longer.
Yeah.
But also bringing in an element of puzzles. And, and playing as two kids. It wasn't... Was it the best game I played last year? Possibly not, but it was definitely a story that stuck with me, and I remembered it, and I like it, and I want to go play it again. But out of all of the three that really stood out to me, I'm going to have to say Disco Elysium, because it is just, I don't want to say flawless, but as a story game goes, it's going to be hard. The next story game I sit down and play, it's going to be hard for me to go, it's just not as good as Disco Elysium.
Wow. I think my problem with Disco Elysium is that it's brilliant, but I know what they can do to make it better.
Yeah.
And you just sit there going, well, now that they've made this game and it's brilliant and it's going to get loads of people playing it and they're going to make the money, now I want Disco Elysium 2, and let's spend that little bit extra on those other bits to tweak them and make it look a little bit better, make it run a little bit smoother at these different points, but keep the rest. Get your writers back in, do that. Please make it Blade Runner.
You mean like Divinity? So like Divinity Original Sin was fine.
Yeah.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is like some of the best game they've ever played.
Yeah,
Like,
because they got
had
the
a
money
budget.
and they were like, oh, now we can do it.
Yeah.
And so, not slating it at all, it's just sort of like, 2 is going to be the shit to the point that people are going to be like, yeah, I like... Disco Elysium was good, but...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, hopefully.
You know.
Yeah.
You never
They
know.
should.
Yeah.
They should.
I mean, the game's done for a game as niche as it is.
Yeah.
It's done well. Like, it's never going to beat the likes of Stardew Valley, or it's never going to beat the likes of whatever else, because they are just so easy games to go make a farm and about. But this game is like a dark, gritty
Stardew Valley
detective
you can
game.
give to a kid and they'll be like, yeah, I can play it.
Exactly.
Disco Elysium you can give to a kid and they'll probably do the first bit and go, oh, he said fuck.
Yeah.
And then not play it because they realise they have to read. It takes you actually have to put effort into the
Reading
game.
is hard, to be fair.
And you're talking to a dyslexic here. Right? Don't talk to me about how hard reading is. Yeah.
Right. Dan.
Okay.
This away.
So I agree with you. This year has been a pretty bad year for indie games. I had a lot of hope because the year before was pretty bad as well.
Ooh, yeah.
There were a couple of really good games that we got excited for, but we were very much talking about next year. It's going to be a better year. And it failed.
We were very hopeful.
We were really hopeful.
It's Ooblets. That's the only thing we're missing, really.
Is it?
Only thing. How about games that actually worked how they were supposed to?
Ooblets.
Ooblets,
not.
we
it
don't
doesn't
know. We haven't
exist
played it. In fact,
I have.
you know what's better than
Oh,
Ooblets?
right.
You know what's better than Ooblets?
So-
Hollow Fist. Hollow Fist
Yep.
isn't out. Ooblets isn't out. But Hollow Fist, even on that slice we played, had more than Ooblets did. Ooblets was nice because it showed ideas, but it was still at that ideas stage. It was like, we've got these ideas. Hollow Fist, with what they gave us, was, you know, that game would be fun and will work now, but they've got all of this they're going to bring to it as well. And I was like, okay, so what have I really enjoyed? And I've talked about 2 of them at the start already. Slay the Spire and Trials of Fire. These are 2 card games that mix the board game bit with them. I personally think Slay the Spire is better, but only because it was more accessible.
Right.
It's easier to get into. It's a bit of fun. You play it for a bit. Trials of Fire had parts I didn't enjoy, whereas Slay the Spire was just
Pure
this
fun.
is pure fun. There's nothing else to it. I've enjoyed it. That's great. I'm just going to look at what else I enjoyed.
Scribblings out.
Year of Rain was one of my games.
Year Rain
of the
2,
year.
do you mean?
No.
Year of Rain 1 released in 2014.
Year of Rain by Daedalic Entertainment, the real-time strategy game.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I'm thinking of Risk of Rain, my bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Year of Rain,
Year of
real-time
Rain.
strategy.
I was thinking, what? That released ages ago. But yeah, no, carry on.
Which is not ready. It would not get my Game of the Year. I couldn't give it Game of the Year. It has potential to be.
Yep.
A game this year if it ever comes out and it's finished and it sorts out the mechanics. But its
remember
biggest
this now, yeah,
problem is next week on the 28th, Warcraft 3 Reforged comes out. And Warcraft 3 is my favourite RTS game because
probably
it's
true for a lot of
fun
people.
and there was a great story that went through it, and that comes out soon. And I think that's going to really affect Year of Rain in the fact people
Almost
are going to play
definitely.
Warcraft.
I mean, I just looked at some images of it. It looks like Warcraft to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was when I played through bits of it. It was like, oh, this reminds me of Warcraft, and I've been wanting a game like this for ages.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's great, but some of the pathfinding was just terrible. But it's things they could fix. And you're like, okay, we're at this point. That's not a difficult
dire
fix,
problem,
and we're
like,
talking
for
about
RTS.
an alpha.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
this is a real basic start.
Yeah.
There was some really nice ideas. The hero mechanics between them, the way the maps worked, really. It worked, but it also fell back to the old. You have a middle lane, you have a left lane, you have a right lane, and it's sort of like, okay, that's good, but I want to see something new. If you're going to come to the genre, give me something new. So that was a good game, and that's kind of what I'm looking at for 2019. Was not what the game made me go, yeah, man. You know, like some of the years we've had before, I've sat there and gone, God, that game was just that was perfect. This year has been if it's good, it's hit my into there.
Man, I remember
So-
2017. It was a good year, wasn't it?
That was a good year.
Yeah.
That was
Was that
Sexy Brutale.
Sexy Brutale was the winner of
Yes,
that one.
and
The year
Cat
before,
Quest.
that was the year
Haven't
before.
played that, but obviously
The year
everyone
before
played
was
that.
Cat Quest, because Cat Quest
it?
won our game
Oh,
of the
yeah,
year,
yeah,
then
yeah.
Sexy Brutale won the game of the year,
Yeah.
and then
Yoku's Island Express, which is a great game.
Yeah. And then that leads me on to really the last one, and that is a brilliant game. It's a great game. It's Cat's Quest 2. And the only reason that no one went crazy about it is because it's Cat's Quest 1 again.
Yeah.
Just with a dog.
But you can play it 2-player now. And it probably didn't get the plaudits it deserved because Cat's Quest had already been out.
Yeah.
So when you play the same game again, and yes, they've added bits to it,
Yeah.
and yes, it's longer, and yes, it has more bits, but it's the same game, you can't get as wild about it. You can't have that moment where you're like, oh my god, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is how it should be.
It ain't broke though.
Well, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, Cat's Quest, if you've never played Cat's Quest 1,
Which I have not.
jump on Cat's Quest 2.
Yeah.
If you and a mate want to play a game that you're really going to enjoy together, get Cat's Quest 2. If you love Cat's Quest 2, get Cat's Quest 1. You're going to really enjoy the movement through. They are really bloody good games. But once you've played the first one, the year after to play the same thing again, well, 2 years after,
Yeah, it's been a while.
to play the same thing again, you then can't have that same passion, that joy. It's
Right.
not that it's a bad game. It's
Yeah.
just you're not going to get that same emotional response from me of, fucking well done, Gentle Bros.
Yeah.
You've looked at the market and you've gone, you know what, you guys have done this wrong. We know how to do this. And my God, do they know how to do this? They've nailed the game again. It is brilliant. But we're not going to be shouting about it. We're not going to be running around about it. Not in the same way as Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Disco Elysium 2, when that does come out, or whatever they call it, people are going to go, yeah, this is really good. But they're not going to be going, oh my God, the writing's insane.
Yeah.
The way you can move through, because
Yeah.
we've seen it.
It's rare that a sequel gets the more attention. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when people talk about movie sequels, they're like, you know, Godfather Part 2 is brilliant. But it never got the same as The Godfather. People go, it's one of the only sequels that you'll ever watch where you'll turn around and you go, Jesus, you know, you've got Aliens.
Yep.
You know, you're talking a brilliant sequel, but to be honest, it's a different genre.
True.
The second movie. Whereas The Godfather and Godfather Part 2, Empire, you know, we're talking sequels that are really good.
Terminator 2.
But Terminator 2,
It's a good one.
but they never get the same sort of huge plaudits.
Yeah.
There's, you know, we're talking about a very small market where most other sequels, you go, yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But because you've had the first one, you never get that big buzz again. And
Yeah,
Cat's Quest
true.
2 is fully fallen into that. It's a great game.
But
It's
still,
a brilliant
it's still
game.
great, obviously. Yeah.
It's a brilliant game.
So-
Love it, but
But because
just
you
can't-
wouldn't put it as your top game.
That is my top game of the
Oh,
year.
it is top game. Okay,
Cat's Quest
alright.
2 was my top game of the year.
Oh, excellent.
But I
Okay.
can't run round going, Cat's Quest 2! What Cat's Quest 2? Because to be honest, for me, Cat's Quest 1, that game. I love that game. I've completed that on PC,
Yep.
PlayStation,
Mhm.
Nintendo Switch,
Okay.
Xbox.
Come on.
I've played it. I have bought and played it. Well, no, I think the only one I didn't buy it on was on my Mac. Because that's the one I got for the review. And then I bought it for my PC, I bought it for the PlayStation, I bought it for the Xbox, and I bought it for the Switch.
Bloody hell.
So I bought that game a few times. Because I just love playing through it
I
again.
think you mostly funded Cat Quest 2.
Yeah, Gentle Bros. Come on, where's my free t-shirt?
Commission. Where's the commission?
Where's my commission? But no. And then Cat's Quest 2, really enjoyed it, really loved it. But, you know, I was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
There's no way you wouldn't have liked it.
No,
Yeah.
because it's the same game again, and I've already played it 5 times, 6 times, as we've already seen.
God.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to buying it on the Switch.
Again.
And,
Cat Quest 2, sorry. Yeah.
Cat Quest 2, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy the same game twice. I mean, I
wouldn't
have
put it past you at
issues.
this point.
I
You
have-
have bought the same game several times.
have. Super Meat Boy,
Yeah.
I own. No, I don't own as much as Cat Quest.
Wow. Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
That's quite a
Because I own Meat Boy on
distinction.
360,
Yeah.
which of course is then on the One, on PC, and on Switch. Oh, and I've got it on my Mac as well. Yeah, so I bought that a few times.
Well, there you go.
Only completed that one twice though.
A bit harder.
It is a bit harder.
Yeah. A little bit harder.
A little bit harder.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
I can't complete it on the Switch.
I've not tried. I've not
Tiny
played on
thumb
Switch.
pads as you're holding it like that.
I've not played
I
on
got
Switch.
fat hands. How the hell am I supposed to play this?
So yeah, the guy who did the GameCube Joy-Cons.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
They look cool.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
They do look cool. Yeah, he's modded it, so it's like literally a split in half game controller.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. Episode 1, season 3, episode 1.
Right.
In the bag, people. So yeah, our top games each. Tom with Hell Let Loose,
Good
hardcore
choice. I forgot about
multiplayer
that
World War II shooter. I went with Disco Elysium, being a more single player RPG story driven game, whatever you want to call it. And Dan going with Cat Quest 2, which is a very like light-hearted fun, but quite deep in terms of what you can do with it. Action RPG, really. It's definitely more RPG than I thought it would be. Like when you start actually unlocking the different skills, and things like that, it definitely, the way you unlock skills can dictate and manipulate how you approach certain dungeons early on, isn't it? It's like, definitely. I can't go gung ho here. I need to be a bit more ranged attacker here and things like that. So,
it also has a lot of end game.
yeah,
So even once you finish the final boss, there is a hell of a lot more stuff to do and find.
I've not done all of it. I finished the story. I've not done all the end games. So I was like,
masses.
oh my god, Jesus Christ. Yeah, lots of dungeons to go through and play. But that's it, guys. That is a wrap up. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching, listening, whatever you chose to do. So as I said at the beginning, if you're still here, we are the Incredible Podcast. We go up every Monday. We are back now on a weekly basis. Next week, we're going to be diving into the games we're looking forward to in 2020. A few picks each. There's a few games that we've been looking forward to for a while. And we can now actually talk about them coming this year. We might not have release dates or release windows for them. We might know them. We can't actually say when they are. But we're going to really dive into that. If you guys would like, or we'd like to know what you guys are looking forward to. So if you've watched this and you want to let us know what games you're looking forward to, I'll put a post out on Twitter on the Thursday. You guys can follow us over on Twitter at IndieCredible. You can follow us pretty much anywhere at IndieCredible, to be honest. And let us know what games you're looking forward to, and that way we can talk about it on the show next week. But we're off to record a post show now, which is where we chat to our patrons for probably about 10-15 minutes about just life in general, really. So if you want to get involved on that, patreon.com/IndieCredible. $1 a month will get you access to every single pre and post show content, or every single bit of pre and post show content we put out. You can support us at higher tiers if you want, and it'll also get you access to our Discord, where we haven't been that active over Christmas, but we definitely are more active when it's the actual podcast is going and chatting to people. But anyway,
You will be.
Yeah.
I will be, yeah.
I mean, I would. I'm just never on it.
I like Trev. I like Brian.
Wow. Ooh.
Don't like Lewis.
Oh, yeah, well,
Not massive fan of Tom.
Goes
Definitely
without
not
saying.
massive fan of my little brother. He's just better than me, so fuck him.
Don't tell him that.
Huh?
Don't let him hear that.
He knows it. I tell him it all the time.
Ugh.
I say, you're better than me, you little shit.
I'm
I'm bigger than him, so it works.
Oh, fair
Not
enough.
physically taller,
Which is bigger.
but just
Just
like
bigger in general, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. Patreon, stick around. And until next week, people, you guys stay indie credible.
Hey.
Hey, we're back.
We did it.
Hey.